Hi everyone, this is Jenny Garcia and this is a Project Life flip through of my 2020 year, and it's only one album. It was a difficult, weird year, and it's interesting to look back on this now that it's finished. I'm going to talk about the products that I used, maybe techniques and things that happened throughout the year. So let me know if you have any questions. I do have a playlist for all the 2020 videos that I've made. So this is our cover page. Sometimes I pick something different than photos for the cover, and this year I did these Powerpuff Girls sort of thing, which ended up being very cute. I don't know if it's like a true rendition because it's not like we love the Powerpuff Girls. I mean, I like them, but probably not that this much. This is the Color Me Happy collection from Pretty Little Studio by Kat Martin, and I love this collection. I still have a lot of that. So yeah, this was an app, but every single item is from Pretty Little Studio. I love this transparency right here. Kind of offers a peekaboo, and I love the pattern. Let's see if I have something white. So yeah, I'm sorry about the glare. It's Project Life pocket pages. There's going to be a little bit of a glare. And this year my family came to visit, and my nephew's birthday is on the 3rd, January 3rd. So I made him this awful looking cake, because it was like a different kind of cake. I don't know. I just put like a bunch of frosting on it, and I needed, no, I think this was like a box cake now that I look at the texture here. So this card, it was a freebie. I believe it's from In a Creative Bubble, but I'm honestly not sure. This card is from Studio Calico. Yes, this is my DIY kit for birthdays, since we were celebrating a birthday. And I always pull other things, like this game night stamp and a little self-care to add to my kits, and I do that with my Studio Calico kits too. I love cut some photos in a circle like I did here, and I almost, since it's day, I'm gonna turn off my lights, and I hope that minimizes the glare a little bit. Okay, so I hope this is a little bit better. This is from Studio Calico. I believe if this is not in a creative bubble, but a printable, it could be a Studio Calico one. Usually they have some digital items sale, and they put their journaling cards for $1, which is a great deal, especially if you like hybrid, if you like printing, if there's a kid that you love because it had awesome cards, and that's a way of having the cards forever without buying more. This sticker is from Pipsticks. Then we have some from American Greetings, from Freckle Fawn. So yeah, all the Freckle Fawn items are very old. This is week 2 and I love it. We have the Averellas here. We have some photos of that. I love the title card. This is from Pretty Little Studio, and I know that the papers are from Glitter and Ice, and I think these frames are too, but I'm not sure. But I love how that card came out. Another thing about looking back on your albums is looking at things that work well for you, things that you enjoyed and you want to do again. And I do love making title cards, so it's a great idea. My kid had a trip to, they do this trip every year. They take them to the woods, and it's very interesting. First time sleeping out of the house, and usually they make this trip during March. So they were complaining that it was really cold, but you remember what happened during March 2020, so it's one of those things that worked out really well. We play some games. This is like a Pokemon ball that you can use for Let's Go Pikachu, and I believe you can use it for other Pokemon games, but I'm not sure. I only play Let's Go Pikachu. For week 3, I went to Suwanee, Georgia, which is where the headquarters for Tumbo is, and we always get a bunch of swag. I love that. And I got to hang out with the design teams, and they're so fun. There's a few of them, because that back then it used to be design team and now it's creator crew, and there's a few of them that aren't on the creator crew anymore, but I love them so much. They are each one, honestly. I missed a few that are not on the team anymore. This was during a chat with my little one. She loved talking to me just to play with the filters. And here it is. And then Katie made me this journal. And this I'm not sure, on a wall at Tumbo, and this is the Atlanta airport. And I love the stamp, and I forgot that I have these letters, and I need to use them again. I can't even remember who made these. I don't think it's Everyday Explorers. I think is Figure Craft. So when I came back from the airport, I stopped at this shop called Collector's Corners. It used to be in Baltimore, but it wasn't there anymore. It was really weird. The store was awesome. There was like an older guy, like kind of like stalking me. And the guy from the store, he was like really rude to the guy, like, dude, get the clue, stop being creepy. And I appreciate that. And he gave me that poster because they were going to close it, and they had it on the wall. And I was like, do you have it? Because I love the X-Men. That's my favorite Marvel and comic in general. I love the X-Men. And then we have Crazy Hair Day, and I did that mohawk bun pink butterfly thing. You know, my kid had to do a project about her culture, and she made like a little poster board about Puerto Rico, and she got to learn about their friends. And then we have, I was missing a tooth. Look at how cute, my baby. So I also stamp the numbers near the pictures where I added the journaling. And this one I had to stamp on paper and then add it, but it was fine. So yeah. Oh, and this is from Pretty Little Studio. I thought that this paper matched these colors. I can't remember the name of that. Is it Frosty something? I'm honestly not sure, but it's a Pretty Little Studio collection. All of this is Studio Calico. We have weeks 4 and 5. I do that a lot in my project life. Sometimes I don't have enough photos for a whole week spread, and it saves a lot of space. This year for 2024, I'm trying to do it monthly. So far it's fine. I hope that then March is not. I'm just trying not to print too many photos. I don't mind taking a lot, but printing I need to be more careful. I drew this, and then I left it in the library. It was like a project to share with someone. And I have my journaling on missing teeth. They had a dress like a character day, so all this was Rosie Bloom, which was a Shopee, I believe. I want to say maybe. And my little one was Eevee, which is a Pokemon. And sometimes when I did sandwiches for my kids, I would draw on the napkin with a permanent marker. And this one says, let's eat waffles, and this is a sandwich because my little one was obsessed with the adventures of narwhal and jellyfish. So yeah, we have a bunch of filler cards, these two. And then we have a Clue Junior card, and I love adding this, especially the ones that are filled out. Them just hanging out. They were at a birthday party, so there are photos that I cover because there's a bunch of other kids there. And yes, all Studio Calico. Then we have week 6, and this is Ellie Studio. I like to include these postcards, especially from the Pusheen box. In this one, not anymore because they're not including the items, which is kind of a bummer. But I do love including that. You know, in the future, there are other things that are going to be trendy. So it's interesting to see what makes these boxes now. Will there be boxes in the future, or will people grow tired of them? You know, you never know. And my kid took that picture, yeah, because they grabbed my phone and they started snapping photos. So then my little one did a drawing and a little paragraph about the groundhog. Here's the items of the box. We're supposed to read a book with the kids back then, and whatever word was challenging, you had to write it in a sheet they would give you. So they would give you one per week, and this book was about dinosaurs, and it had obviously a bunch of like Plesiosaurus, Cyanobacteria, Dickinsonia. You know, there were a bunch of them that, yeah, of course, they were difficult. These are pictures of my kids at the dentist, the 100 days of school project, which was a shirt with a bunch of buttons, Valentine's Day cards, pictures of my niece, pictures of my kids, and an edible arrangement. And I love these cards. They're basically the same one, but they're still very cute. So if you want something simple or you want to keep the background intact, this is a good way to go. We have weeks 8 and 9, and my oldest got really sick. So that is what these cards are all about. She's never been that sick, which sucks. My little one was the one who brought the sickness home. So this was just her, and she drew a little Pichu, so I put the actual Pichu with the picture she drew. And she was playing hockey with like an eraser and a Swiffer, so this is a drawing. I think my oldest did that. And we were playing Trivial Pursuit, and this was the book that I was reading back then with my title cards. And my niece and my nephew. And then we have week 11, which was the last week of normal. This is like an inside joke with my friends. It's a 90-day fiance thing. I know, I watched that crap. It's terrible. Oh, we have sun coming in now. Wow, sun. Rude of you. But yeah, we have more pictures of my kids. This was another box that was always late, so one of the hashtags people used was late crate. It was a pain in the buns, but... And these are items for Studio Calico, except this one. This is an old one from me and my big ideas. Some pictures they drew of the Angry Birds. I think they both did, so my oldest did this one and my little one did this one. She took a board and make like a community for bugs. She wrote battle time boxes instead of bugs. She was in first grade, so yeah. And then we have week 12. which was kind of strange. We did a little bit of school at home. This was to make music. We were playing a board game, and this one is the Mario Monopoly. If you're interested in a Monopoly that you can play with your kids, or that is not too long, the Mario Kart Monopoly, it's really good. They use stencils to draw pictures of themselves. And here they are writing. And my kid loved watching Mo Willems draw on Instagram. He had like a draw with me time, and she loved it. And this is one of the creatures that he taught them how to draw. And they were learning about planets, and they wrote it's inhabitable for humans right now, and in parentheses, aka you die. So yeah, they were a little bit dramatic about it. So it was called Mo Willems Lunch Doodles, and this stuff is Pretty Little Studio. I don't have that many cards that I say. These I only use 2. They are from Feed Your Craft and In a Creative Bubble, and I love these. There's a bunch of these. There's listening, watching, eating. It's one of the best ones. So these are part of the lunch doodles that she made. We read Scaredy Squirrel on Epic, and my kids love Scaredy Squirrel. It's very relatable. I love this title card. These are very old, from Freckle Fawn. And more from Color Me Happy, from Pretty Little Studio. We made the slime, and then we were blowing it with a straw. We made puffy slime. You will fall to your doom if you land on Saturn. Yeah, because the atmosphere is not solid. It's a gas giant. So yeah. So yeah, way to be dramatic. And she was wearing a costume at home and enjoying the naked mole rat, which is a character from Mo Willems' books. And I made this. This was from one of like Crafting with Friends. And I think this is the kit that Leilani sent me. And the plan was to do this one, and I didn't notice that this was an insert. So yeah, then I did this one too. So okay, let me start. Yeah. So I don't know much about the items, because I know that there's some L Studio stuff that I can recognize, and there's some stuff from Hobby Lobby. This was just playing with filters. They did Fort. I got this app where you can point it at the sky and it will tell you what constellation or planet that is visible you're looking at. I think that Layla was drawing Leonardo the Terrible Monster. And she was doing yoga with that annoying British lady. I forget, I think it's Yoga Cosmic or something like that. It keeps it entertained, so if you have little ones, that's perfect. These are movies that we watch. I love this card. I have no idea who makes it, but it's so awesome. And I made that little trick where you look through a paper towel roll, and then your face looks like a moon. I know, it's weird, but it's pretty cute. And this was supposed to be an awesome moon, but you know how taking pictures of the moon goes. And more arts and crafts. So she did this with paper piecing. And I braided my kids' hair because they hate to brush it, so that's the easiest way to, okay, don't brush it. And this was the Easter Bunny, I think, was doing the rounds. You can like see it. And it's interesting because it was the last year in that house. We bought the house during this year, so, and we discover a YouTube channel called Crash Course, and it's so good. We love that channel. It's one of our favorites. It doesn't matter how old you are, it has like really good information. And the cherry blossoms were like doing their thing. It looked amazing. So this was behind our house, and my oldest was, oh, and this one was with, I did this crafting with friends with Heather from Heather Creates. So yeah, these are items that she sent me. So honestly, again, I'm not really sure. I think this is from scrapbook.com. So yeah, she was doing her yoga. We read A Place for Pluto, which is a really cute book. They had to do some airplanes. No, I think they didn't have to do airplanes. She wanted to do airplanes. These were just like little donuts we'd made at home. And this is a drawing that she made that it says, I help with chores and I say kind words. And a bubble that says, love you. And that's supposed to be a vacuum. That's her little watch. I'm lucky that my kids are pretty receptive to some things, because I would never homeschool them, because especially the little one would never listen to me. But they know how to write cursive and they can read a watch, so I guess that's not so bad, but it wasn't hard to teach them, so I don't know. And this week we got Animal Crossing New Horizons, and that's all we did the rest of the 2020. It's all pictures of Animal Crossing. I'm exaggerating, but not really. You'll see. Okay, so here we have pictures of how it starts. That it's just a tent. You have a tiny house. I think the first one is my oldest, the middle one is me, and this is my husband. And I cut Layla's hair. She doesn't like to have long hair. I love this sticker sneezing, and I think I did this when the BFF sticker club started to gain popularity, and I'm like, I want to use my stickers, but I don't think I want to do like the challenge back then, but I fell into it, you know, it happens. So I decided to do that. I did my circle photo here with a background. So a bunch of these are from In a Creative Bubble. So this one is from the same one that I showed you earlier that said learning. More Animal Crossing photos. And I took this photo of Layla. And there is a very good 2020 stamp set from Everyday Explorers. I can't remember the name, but it did have a few, like this one, Classes in Session and All Day Every Day. More slime that I made with the Jumbo Aqua. And here's about, so my oldest asked for Animal Crossing New Horizons during her birthday, and since it was quarantine, we couldn't stop playing, and it's such a soothing game to the point where I got my own Switch just to play Animal Crossing. And that's mostly all I played, that and Fallout Shelter. And this is week 18, and sometimes I do this where I have either a 12 by 12 and a 9 by 12 or a 6 by 12. I don't mind playing with the page protectors, with the sizes, with the format. And I love this card. These are from the cord kits, and I mix them all up. I still do make my own kits, and I try to use stuff that I have. And the core kits are really good. They have really pretty cards. I think this one is from one of the Dear Lizzie, and I want to say, you know what, I'm not going to say because I don't remember. But I love this one, this quote that says, "I love those random memories that makes me smile no matter what is going on in my life right now." And I have more Animal Crossing stuff. My husband and I were playing, and then I was playing with my brother. And my kids had an assignment from art, which was to take pictures of toys, and it's based on a photographer called Mitchell Wu, and he has an Instagram, and he has so many cool things to do. So if your kid is interested in stop motion, this is a good way to like start, or if they just like to place toys together and snap photos. Then my kid, I love this one because she took the photo and I was throwing foam at it, and in the background you can see the foam sort of falling, and it looks like they are exploding. The Stay Puffed marshmallow guy, which rude, but it's cute. And she made like a little building over there, and my kid was the one who edited the photo. And I'm very surprised. I know that a lot of people criticize the usage of technology with kids, but I'm very surprised about what these kids can do. Like, do you think I could code when I was their age? No. And here's my kid doing school at home, and her teacher in first grade was so good. He would like read and dress up as characters. Like, he's both of my kids were lucky to have him as a teacher, and they both love him to death. He's a gift. And here we have, I know that this is in a creative bubble, and I took this card and I switched it to a bunch of different colors, so I don't know if this is the original color. And this is from Feed Your Craft, and I think this one too, but I'm not sure. Okay, so since she asked for it for her birthday, she was like the first one to celebrate her birthday, and villagers go to your house, and I thought that this was really cute. And then we have more photos here. My kid, and we were like video chatting with family, and I made her this cake, which is my go-to cake to make. It's a Nutella cake with Nutella frosting, and I just love these photos. The photos, the quality were really bad, so I just put filters on them, and I put some bokeh on it. And yeah, my kids have to do some assignments about, you know, making rainbows. So my little one painted one, and my oldest had to do like a photo thing. And at the beginning, her teacher was like, "Yeah, you got that from the internet. Please do it again." And I was like, rude. She looks at me do this stuff all the time. And this is the pusheen box. Sometimes I let it show through both sides. This is not the time. And now they're a little bit smaller, like 3.5 by 5.5, and I'm like, you're ruining my project life setup. Pretty sure the pusheen box people care so much. So yeah, week 19, week 20. I do a lot of stamping on photos, and I have a video about stamping on photos, but it's December daily focus kind of video. You're still gonna get the techniques, and there's gonna be stamping in real life if you're interested. And this is week 21, and these are items from L Studio. So let me see, yeah, these two. So this is how my knees looked back then. We got a little box from Sago Mini. They have, I think that they used to have an app for kids to play, and then they released the box, and we did the trial, and it was cute, but I think that my kids were too old for it, but it was still really adorable. And it came with this like cutout, so you can dress up your plushie as a robot. and my kid took Oni, which is a mascot for the US Postal Office, I think. So yeah, it's very cute. And then I saved the paper because it looked adorable. And then I have number 1 here. I'm going to talk about that. I love these kind of cards. And my kid had to do this because I think they were going to put them all together in a photo, but I don't know what happened to that. This is like the little note that comes with the kit, and I put a little bit of that paper in there too. It was just tissue paper, but it was adorable. And we finished the game, and this was at the end of May, so that should tell you how much, you know, effort we were putting in that. And Layla drew a picture of Tom Nook. So yeah. And this is week 22, and they just had to put eyes on things to like make them look like they had a face. And Mikey, the microphone, still has his eyes. Now he's like a little beat up. He's had it tough. It's being hard on him. But whenever I do my voiceover, it's this guy who helps me. So it's his fault. No, I'm kidding. He's a good guy. Yeah, and it's a weird thing that I do, but I name everything and I treat it like person. Like kids used to think it was funny, and then I kept doing it, and now they're like, oh my god, that's cringe, because they're teenagers and tweens. So this is another of those old Me and My Big Idea cards. They were not cut in the grass around it, so they had a bunch of weeds, and it looks so pretty. And they had an assignment where they had to like sketch their shadow and then fill it out, and it ended up looking really cool. Yeah, it has to, yeah. Okay, I knew that there was another one of this where you could see it a little better. So it was a lot of fun. These are just pictures of them throwing water balloons around. And picking up the residue is a pain in the booty, so I'm kind of looking forward to test those that like you can reuse. I don't know if you've seen them. Okay, this is another core kit card from Dear Lizzie, and this is from In a Creative Bubble. There's No Place Like Home, and I did a bunch of stamping, and you know, a little picture of the little animals that live in our island. This was before I got my own island. And then their teacher sent a postcard. Let me see if I cover, yeah. And these weeks were hard. My grandmother passed away. These are my grandparents. It's one of her favorite photos. One of my favorite ones too. My kid doing schoolwork. My oldest had a ridiculous growth spurt and everything stopped fitting, so I had to buy them clothes. We were watching a few documentaries because there were a lot of things happening, still happening, and for that and after that, sadly. But it's important to keep yourself informed of everything that's going around and to challenge your way of thinking. So I added a quote from it's a review of this documentary, The 13, which is on Netflix, and it's about the 13th Amendment. And these items are from Citrus Twist Kits. And I added a bunch of journaling down here too. My family got together to eat somewhere, to eat in my grandmother's tent while they were doing the arrangements, and this was a picture my mom sent me of my brother. These were more ice to make faces things, and more water balloon fights, and my kid reading. And I love this perspective where I can see a little bit of her face, but I can't see what she's reading to. This one is available on Hoopla, I believe, and Hoopla is an audiobook service, and it also has ebooks, and you can listen and read ebooks for free using a library card. Okay, week 25 and 26, we were still playing. Again, a bunch of things happens. They were doing a lot of updates, so there was always something that you could do. And they still had the fort. The fort came down to like clean the living room, and then it quickly went up again. And this is a meme that it says, it's the furthest thing, I'm the furthest thing from depressed. I mean, look what I've accomplished. Do you think a depressed person could make this? No. And it's been from Parks and Recreation. My little one loves music, so she had still has a little guitar. Now she plays the trumpet and a little bit of piano that she has been sort of learning. And yeah, it's more Citrus Twist kits. And this is Studio Calico. I don't know if this was a Patreon exclusive back when I was doing Patreon. I don't know if I should add them to my feed because people already paid for those. But that way they're easy to find also. So I don't know, I've been thinking about that. We were looking at houses, and it was all very new going out. And we forgot one of our masks, and my husband volunteered to not wear a mask, but we were just touring houses, and everyone was distanced, and it was very few people, but we were looking at houses to buy. We watched the Babysitters Club, and my oldest loved it. I never growing up read it or watched the TV show or the movie, but I do like this series. It's very good. We also watched this Sesame Street Town Hall special. I will always watch Sesame Street. It's like if there's a fictional place I could live at, it would be there. And this was another little more Animal Crossing and stuff. I love this card. I'm obsessed with it. I'm obsessed. This is Studio Calico, but this is not Studio Calico. I think that this might be Paper Person when it was still Kelly Perky. I'm not sure, but I added a bunch of stickers to match the colors, and it was awesome. And here I have a little stamp that says watch all the shows, and the Babysitters Club books from Pipsticks. So this is pretty new too. This was the very last one, which is on my YouTube channel, the process video, and I used the birthday kit, and I added like a little insert from the blind bags my kid got. We did a little birthday like my oldest had. We use some stamping and opening presents and more looking at houses. And we finally settle in our house, and this is where the house is right now, and we have a really nice view of trees. All of this is Studio Calico. I think this is a Patreon exclusive too. I love these currently cards. I don't know if you can still get them around. They were from Are You Christine? But I know that the website right now is called the Awesome Ladies Project, I believe. And this is our friend and our realtor, Mecca. So she works in Maryland. If you need a house in Maryland, she is the one to get it with, because she's so honest. There are a few houses that she's like, yeah, I don't like this for you. And I love this. These are from an order that I made with with everyday explorers, and then I added extra little circles and faces. And I love this card too. And more Studio Calico, and here you have the card. So here you can see the front, and here you can see the back, and that is something that I've been trying to do more often, to show both sides. And this is from another of those boxes, and this has been one of my favorite Funko Pops ever, and it's Mystique as Wolverine, but turning back into Mystique. It's weird and cool and awesome and so well done. And this is the first time that we went to this store called Third Eye, and it's like the perfect store for nerds and people that like cutesy stuff and kawaii stuff and books. It has a bunch of awesome things. And we had like a makeup day, and I have a bunch of pictures of that. So that's basically this whole thing. Here we have another, these two are from blind bags, and I like leaving like both sides available to see. The piles of books to be read, some books that we got from the library. Finally were able to pick up books at the library, and that was very helpful. And I made this card. It just had this, yes, I think this is from Paper Person, and the hands. And I went sticker crazy. I don't know what was with me that day. I think that I finished a BFF Sticker Club challenge, and then I kept that that itch to keep adding stickers everywhere, and I regret nothing. I think it's so cute, and I want to do it everywhere. And I did that with stamping here also. So these alphas are from Studio Calico, and I love this so much. It was a hot mess. Look at that. It wasn't great. This was a note that her new teacher sent her, so I just put washi so I could lift it. And items from camp, Pusheen. Again, look, I'm telling you, I was like sticker obsessed. So I did this one first, and I was like, well, I have to keep the theme going on here because these are still the same photos. And then here we have 35 and 36, and still quite a few stickers around. I love this perspective over my kids. Was reading The Shadow of Kyoshi. My oldest got a haircut. And then we have Back to School online, which was kind of strange. But yeah. But they didn't have to wear shoes. So, and this was when Justice Bader Ginsburg passed, and I kept a screenshot, and I added this stamp that says breaking news. This is either chipboard or cardboard. I think it's chipboard, and I colored it with Posca markers to like match the whole layout. These were some crystals we were trying to grow. One of my sisters had a bunny for like, I don't know what's up with my sisters. Two of them have had like pet bunnies for like a second, and then I don't see the bunnies anymore. A song that I was really into that is super depressing. Don't listen to it, but do. It's really good, but it's depressing. And as the U.S. has debates for the president, Puerto Rico has debates for the governors, and they include everyone, which is something that U.S. should do, because then you're exposed to new ideas. Even if you don't like the candidate, you're like, you know what, that actually doesn't sound like a bad idea. And then there are others that they open their mouth and all the stupid comes crawling out, and then they win, and you're like, come on. That happens. And I love this lyric. It's from a Mama Cass song. And they made like these little guitars with a box and the aluminum foil box too, and then they added rubber bands as the strings, and didn't sound great, but this is another game that we love playing as a family because we're not competing against each other. We're all competing to get a bad guy. Because let me tell you that Mario Kart and Mario Party have, they sometimes put us in a weird position where everyone walks away just angry, like sort of like Monopoly. And yeah, so the crystal growing thing was very, it was meh, it wasn't impressive. uh this was the joy my little one made of family. This was our basement being like, well, when they were making everything. It's very interesting, and I'm glad I have these photos to like look back. Just one day that my husband was walking and like driving around, and he saw it, and he knows me, so he sent me a picture. We have one spread for October. And my little one had something in her mouth that wouldn't go away, and it was painful for her. And luckily, the second time, you can see that her mouth is a little swollen. Like, maybe you can't see it, but I can recognize her face. These items, sorry, I forgot to say, are from Citrus Twist Kits. And then these are from Ellie's Studio, right? Most of them. Okay, so this is Ellie's Studio. This is from Studio Calico. And this is from In a Creative Bubble. So yeah, that was tough. And then here I have like the Everything Sucks stamp set from Feed Your Craft, and it's one of the best stamps out there. They used to make really good stamps. Kind of hard and sad to see them go. Amazon had something in a box where you would like write on it, and they would give you like a card face, and then you can wear the pumpkin as a mask. That's where the photos are from. And I love these little stickers. They are from American Greetings, and I got them at Target. Don't forget to check Target, the sticker section, when you go there to lose all of your money. That's why I avoid going. Okay, so here we have more of those ghosties. They still dressed up. They always dressed up. This is the very first time they both wore creepy-ish costumes rather than being a pony or being a Pokemon or whatever game they're playing, that they make me look for items to match up a costume. So yeah. And we were looking at a bunch of cameras during, like, just peeping on animals, you know, invading their privacy during the quarantine. This is a hybrid animal she made. It was like a flamingo with a snake with a feather. It was a hybrid, okay? And then my nephew had his first birthday. Aw, he's so big now. And this is just me changing colors on everything so I could print and cut. And I always have my nails on. Right now they look like garbage, but I do like doing my nails. And I was reading Stamp, Racism, Anti-Racism, and You. And that's a really good book because I read things there that like affected the Caribbean that I never found out. It's kind of the same powers in the School of like Thought and Information. And these are from In a Creative Bubble. And this is November. Usually those months, maybe not October, but November, I don't know why it's always one spread. Almost always. And here my kid like painted her own nails. We adopted our, like, my grandbabies. Let me see. that is pumpkin, that's cranberry, and this is cotton candy. And we were packing to start moving, and I got this stamp from Kelly Stamps. It's now she's the creative ginger. Kelly, I don't know, the Australian girl, you know her. And this card, I thought it was really awesome. And we have some memes about voting and some thoughts. I voted sticker, and I love this this little meme with the "This is fine dog." It's just sitting there in flames with an "I voted" sticker. We have this from the Pusheen box, and how the house was looking, like changing the wardrobe because she was growing. I love taking pictures of my little one. She just seems so peaceful, which is such a lie. Yeah. Okay, and this is December. This is from Studio Calico. And the cards also from Studio Calico. Not that many, but yeah, Studio Calico. And then we have our Sheen winter box. My oldest had like an award ceremony for honors. The house was almost done. My kid just doing school and being bored. I always take a picture of my mug in front of the tree, and we got a little bit of snow where I live. Luckily, we don't get a lot of snow, which good because I hate snow. So yeah. These are from Shop, the Shop kit. I can't tell you which one, but yeah, but her kits are really good. And if you like them, I know that the Well Read used to be a printable or a digital collection. It's now being distributed by Pretty Little Studio, so maybe in the future you'll see that one too. These alphas are from Citrus Twist Kits, and Citrus Twist Kits makes really good alphas, and they add numbers too. So you see here they were taking like 3 snowflakes and throwing it at each other. Yeah. And here I just have extras of the year. I always do that at the end. I just add like ephemera. Here is the card that says Dear 2020. None of this was in my vision board. We have the snack, and my kids don't play with this anymore, the snackables. So it's really good to have this, the Num Nums. What's the name? Well, they have a few around that they like to like decorate, but it's not an obsession like it used to be. So it's interesting to see how they are grow their, you know, favorite toys and her blind bags and all of that. And this was something that they did at school during 5th grade. You would write your name, and other kids would write whatever they thought about my kid, and a bunch of them thought that she was smart and cool and caring, yeah, and talented and sweet and cool and smart and nice. And other things that they wrote, some awards they got too. This is, I don't make 12 by 12 layouts very often, but I like this one. I use products from Pretty Little Studio. And I love this little painting mess. And I love this photo too with these alphas. My kids love to dress up. Wait a minute. This was from next year. I don't know what this is here. Was it? Yeah. Oops, then I have to move it. And here we have more awards. And it's not going to show them because their whole name in school is there. So that is the whole spread. Thank you so much if you watched the whole thing. I should have told people to like grab a snack first. But if you have any questions about my book, let me know in the comments. I loved finishing this and looking through it, and it was a weird year, but luckily everyone in this house is an introvert, so it was like finally we can just be at home and not talk to people. Been waiting for this forever, but not all the time. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you're having an awesome day. Bye.